If you're a business owner, you don't need us to tell you running a business is tough. Don't let QuickBooks and spreadsheets slow you down anymore. Now is the time to upgrade to NetSuite by Oracle, the world's #1 cloud business system. NetSuite gives you the visibility and control over your financials, HR, inventory, e-commerce, and more. Join the over 21,000 companies using NetSuite right now. Schedule your free product tour right now at netsuite.com/C-suite. netsuite.com/C-suite.
Welcome to the Superhero Homies podcast. My name is Quentin, and as always, I am here with the homie Kevin.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is going on? Hope you guys are having an excellent Christmas season if you're listening to this right around the time still. If not, I hope you're just having a great time of your life. Welcome back to the show.
Yes, hopefully you guys are enjoying the Harley Quinn TV series, which is what we're talking about tonight. We just finished watching episode 4.
Finding Mr. Right.
Finding Mr. Right.
Fuck yeah. Guys, the show's been pretty fun. If you don't have a DC Universe, go ahead and get it. For a couple of reasons, this definitely being one of them, the whole show.
Yes, so far this show has been phenomenal. It's been just an incredible, hilarious take on the entire DC Universe from the perspective mostly of Harley Quinn. It's been great.
Dude, I love it, man. Mm-hmm. And this whole episode actually is one of my favorite ones we've seen so far. And there's a critical moment when it all begins to happen, and it's just so beautiful, dude. It really is. Yes. All the comedy just works so well together.
It's true. Yeah. It's like, or at least for me, it's like the episode was good, and then we hit a point there where we get this long sequence at the end that was pure comedy gold.
Yep. Everybody was on point, dude. All the characters, yeah. And there's so many characters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So the main clutch of this episode is Harley. She is trying to find her nemesis because she, after a very successful bank heist that she does with her crew, she realizes that no one in the news is talking about her. No one really cares.
Yeah, the news is too busy talking about like a box of ferrets that found their forever home and the Joker, of course.
Yeah, and primarily, they're talking about Batman and Joker on like all the news channels except for the thing with the ferrets. And Harley's like, what the fuck? Even the ferrets beat me out. But then she realizes that, well, the one thing she's missing is she needs a nemesis.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And, it is kind of interesting seeing how one of the key components of this show is like they take like they take the concept of what it is to be a superhero or a supervillain, and they take those things, those key components that are necessary to be a supervillain, and then they kind of trivialize it and make it comedic.
Yeah.
And this is one of those things where, you realize that, if you really want to be like a well-known superhero or villain, you need a nemesis, I
actually thought about it in a very similar way. I kind of added a context to it too, though. The plot of this episode reminded me of something more you would have a chance of seeing in another show available on Amazon Prime, The Boys. Like, I feel like this is more of like a plot thread they would follow. It's like, oh, you want to be a popular hero. Oh, you didn't mention that in the contract. So if you're going to be with our company, you need to find your own nemesis. And you are strictly reliable for that. We do not find that for you. Good luck.
Yeah. I guess now I'm just thinking too much into the deep cuts, but I'm like, Garth Ennis doesn't keep anybody alive long enough to have nemesis.
This is true. Garth Ennis would just have the butcher come by and just kill everybody. Yep.
But yeah, so that's what she does, and she realizes that the Joker, he's just stealing her spotlight, and whether it be for better or for worse, for hook or crook, the Joker is kind of like her. Technically, he is her nemesis in this show.
Yep. That is completely accurate.
Yeah. So how do you feel about the show? Kind of not really relying, but in a way, sort of relying on the whole Joker Harley Quinn concept and how she's trying to get over him, and but he's still just a major part in her life.
Dude, it makes way too much sense. I mean, you can't really have I don't know. It's hard to tell such an elongated Harley Quinn story where she's the focal point without tapping into some of that Joker energy eventually. Like, you kind of need to. I mean, with this show, they're doing it so well that I don't mind it in the least bit. In other genres would be like your superheroes without the comedy aspects. Of course, eventually it would become long-winded and become even dry. But with this, though, they're just constantly feeding more and more jokes out of this into their awesome script writing machine or whatever the fuck magic they're using to make this show. Because for me, dude, it's working. You know? What about you? What about you and the Joker Harley relation?
I mean, I think it's okay. Like
Cool.
I certainly don't hate it. I'm not entirely in love with it. Like, I thought it was great for the first 2 episodes because you need to kind of explain the premise of the show and where Harley's going. But it's like now that we're 4 episodes in, I don't know how many episodes will be in the season. But it just kind of makes me think that we're doing the whole thing about how Harley's breaking off and becoming her own person. But yet she, even within the confines of the show, she can't seem to escape the shadow.
She keeps comparing herself to Joker.
Yeah, she can't escape the shadow of the Joker. And so it's like, well, I mean, I certainly, you know, appreciate the fact that we're getting the Joker, but I think that maybe, I don't know, maybe I feel like if it was used more sparsely, it would not only feel like it would be a bigger deal when he shows up. Yeah. But it would also, I guess, kind of maybe show a little bit of growth in Harley, that she's finally growing apart from this guy.
Well, actually,
and becoming her own person.
No, that's totally true. What I was thinking, especially with the sneak peek we saw of the next episode, episode 5, they might be using this as kind of like a trampoline. This whole like, because you're right, it's a familiar paradigm. We saw it the first couple episodes. We see it still here in episode 4, and it's like, well, okay, is this going to be the relation the whole time? This constant comparing yourself to Joker, trying to get away from him but can't stop thinking about him type bullshit. Episode 5 sneak preview kind of showed us that, you know, we're going to be getting probably, ironically, a heavier dosage of Joker than any episode prior. Hopefully, me just doing a little bit of guesswork at this point, but it will become kind of like that trampoline for her to have that character growth you're talking about, to have that montage moment of, oh, wait, why do I keep comparing myself to him? Why do I keep needing his approval as a supervillain, as a, you know, member or a leader of a crew, my own big top-notch badass, in order to kind of be called successful, you know? So hopefully, like I was saying, and again, you know, we do get a lot of Joker next episode. We saw the preview, guys. Hopefully we'll actually be able to kind of see her grow past that, and for her to kind of overcome that subconscious need of hers. Yeah. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping for, because I really enjoy this show, but it's when we get the inevitable season 2, we don't still need to be on this whole Joker Harley hang up. Like, we've got to move on from that point. Hell, even within the confines of the show, it seems like Joker's already moved on.
Yeah, no, Joker never gave a fuck. He moved on episode 1. 1 year later, never got her.
Yeah. So that's just kind of my only thing. Like, I really do enjoy all the jokes that they're pulling from it. Like, they are really funny and hilarious. But I feel that, like, eventually it could just come to a point where it stifles the character development of Harley, which I wouldn't want that.
I will say this, though. I have enough faith in the writers, because what we've seen up to this point has been pretty awesome writing. I have faith that they too will be able to kind of feel that out and think, okay, guys, we can't keep writing this. Eventually the food's going to get stale, so we have to get a new menu out. We have to get a new dish coming here, you know, a new joke line to kind of bounce off of, a new main plot thread.
Yeah. And just along those same lines, something else that that popular media has struggled with, hell, even the Suicide Squad movie, is trying to find that line between having a villain as your protagonist and really where are they going to lie at. Now, I know I'm talking way too deep for a show that's a 20-minute comedy, animated comedy, but at the same time, this show is so damn good that I want them to kind of think about those things.
Like, congrats, you've passed the show, like, you... Talking to the show, personifying it real quick here, you have surpassed typical other shows, especially typical other cartoon adult animation shows, which are trying to be funny, because your quality is already up there. Now you're going to be graded as such. Right. You in the smart people class get ready to either be knocked the fuck back down if you don't keep up, or to accelerate. You know? Yeah. And right. I guess at this point, what you're saying is like, no, we want it to accelerate now because we know, oh, this is great.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was also more so just about like, I wonder where moving forward they're gonna move that shift to. Are they gonna keep her as a villain, or are they gonna kind of dovetail her as like an anti-hero type? Like what type of arc are they gonna take Harley on moving on in the future?
I could see one of the later seasons being an anti-hero, because that would make a fun plot thread too, like her trying to be kind of a good person, but she keeps kind of fucking up, and yeah, that could be interesting. I think for this whole season, I would ask that she's just like continuously becoming the queen of villainy that she's trying to be. Yeah, at least.
And thankfully, one of the show's strong points is that they do have like such a firm understanding of the characters, and they have so much fun with it, and it's great to see. It makes it very hilarious.
Oh, dude, it really is. In fact, we even get introduced to a new character, which they kind of quickly build their own personality for, and it's again, dude, it's so awesome. Yeah.
Yes, King Shark is who was introduced, and he's actually brought in, just kind of moving forward the episode here, because Harley's having a hard time trying to figure out how she can find basically her Tinder match. But
yeah, her Tinder match for Nemesis.
Yeah. How she can find her nemesis, and so Clayface calls in a favor, and they bring in King Shark,
who has an IT degree.
Yeah. And this is interesting because King Shark, he's even dressed like your typical techie, like the oversized hoodie with the cargo pants / shorts. You can't really tell. Like he looks like a typical techie.
Right. Yeah.
And he comes in, and of course he's huge, and I love how he brings this point up later on in the episode, how like, actually I'm average size for a shark. I guess I'm just big for a man.
Right, he does. Which is actually super funny, because as he's like beginning to show off the IT skills, and like he quickly sits down with her profile page, it's like, oh, no wonder you never used any of your keywords, so we really have to sync up your keywords with the profile and found the match.
Yeah.
He puts on a small ass pair of glasses that do not make any fucking sense, with his big old shark eyes all the way back here. Yeah.
Especially since, I mean, if you think about it, King Shark's eyes are kind of technically on either side of his head.
Right. So what are those glasses doing? What you're lying to yourself. But it was great. It really is. Yeah.
It was. I mean, because I guess it's like, like, why be upset about the King Shark thing? Because it's like, what else are you going to do with him in this type of show? Just have him be big and angry? It's like, there's got to be more.
There has to be more. And actually, I really like what they've done with him. Yeah, I do. He's the IT guy who's just kind of like, he's not happy-go-lucky, but he's naturally positive. He's kind of a cool dude to be around. He's, you can tell he's a little smart. You can tell he definitely knows his IT. But yeah, no, eventually in the episode, we also see another, like, we saw the Dr. Jekyll side. Now we got to see the Mr. Hyde a little bit.
Right.
And that was really fun, too.
And I think there's also to appease maybe the King Shark fans out there who may be a little disgruntled with the brainy IT side of him versus, the more canonical type of King Shark that they maybe are more accustomed to.
Right, yeah.
But eventually Harley realizes that, okay, I want Batman as my nemesis.
Everybody's wary.
As they should be.
So, whoa, wait a minute. Wait the fuck minute. We are not ready for that, Harley.
That's like literally biting off more than you can chew, and then make that same joke I just realized in the episode, and King Shark likes that a pun.
Yes, is that a shark joke? Because I love it. Yeah, and it's actually kind of funny because the show actually gives reverence, to the idea that all of these villains have faced Batman previously. So none of them are fools to him. None of them are fools to what he can do and how competent this man is. For instance, later on, just kind of like nitpick at a scene here, they're all in a warehouse together. We don't know the setup quite yet. And then Batman comes in and is just like, zip lines one of them, and classic Batman hangs them from the ceiling, and Dr. Psycho just kind of walks up. Oh, what do you know? It's the classic hanging by the what the fuck do they call it? The grapple
or bat claw? Yeah.
We'll call it that. Hanging by the bat claw. Yep. I remember when that happened, And they were just kind of like, oh, look at that. You're hanging by the back claw, Clayface. I mean, how you doing up there? Yep, well, not the first time, guys. Yeah, so, yeah, great stuff.
Yeah. And, so she comes up with the idea that she's going to steal the Batmobile, which
She does.
She does, yeah.
Which,
Somehow
wow.
she does. We don't see that part.
We don't see that part. But we do see her play with her cell phone where she has sound bites.
Yes.
She has garage banded together to say, I am Batman. Allow Harley to drive the Batmobile. You know? Yeah.
And also, I guess, he fucks bats also or something like that. I make love to bats.
I am Batman and I make love to bats. Yeah. How's my recorded voice, by the way?
Yeah, not bad. Not too
you,
shabby.
Thank you.
But it's in the warehouse where, like you said, Clayface gets grappled up, and it looks like Batman's in the shadows, but then out emerges Damian Wayne, Robin.
Yep.
Now, if I had to nitpick, I would say my one complaint about this episode was the portrayal of Robin, and it's
that's supposed to be Damian. Man.
It's supposed to be I mean, like he said, he even said it. He's trained by ninjas and Batman. Like the most dangerous ninjas in the DC universe.
I'm uncomfortable with the voice they chose for him.
Yeah, it is because I'm also
really whiny.
Yeah, I'm also more accustomed to the voice they use in the DC animated movies.
Yes, that kid's a badass. Dude. Yeah, I mean, granted, that kid's probably closer to 14, 15, but still, that kid's a badass.
If it's even a kid they get to voice it, yeah.
Touche.
But yeah, I was like, so when we get Damian, I was like, oh shit, like Harley's still gonna have her hands very full. Not the case.
Nope. She does a maneuver on him and leaves him hanging by his britches.
Yeah. And I'm like, I hate to be that guy, but it wouldn't go down.
Damian would kick some ass.
He's
could he take out the whole team? Probably not.
Yeah,
not
I
at the
don't
same
see
time.
that. Yeah, no.
But could he take out Harley one-on-one? More than likely.
More than likely, if we're being honest here. And it was at that point where I was a little afraid that the show was gonna, because she is the main focus, I was afraid that they were gonna go all the way and have her maybe even beat Batman one-on-one. They don't make that mistake.
Oh no,
they don't do that.
Oh no. As we later see on one of the most awesome second halves of an episode.
Yes. But yeah, so I was gonna ask you how you felt about Damian's portrayal here, but
it's weird. I cannot wait for the voice actors' balls to drop and for that voice to actually come in a little harder. Might have been a little bit harsh of a joke there. I mean, they probably on purpose are making him sound so young. Yeah, I can't wait for them to allow the characters' balls to drop and for him to actually sound a little bit more like Damian. We know. Oh, I'm gonna come and kick your butt. You're nothing. You suck. Classic Damian trash talk, and then really
intellectual, braggadocious speak.
Exactly. Yeah.
But no, as of now, what we got is it really is just like a fan dressed up as Damian. Is what it seemed like.
Basically,
because he had no answers for anything.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, he had no answers. He hardly used the utility belt like we would expect him to. Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hell, to a certain extent, Damian was literally genetically engineered for combat.
Plus, he was using social media better than he was using his fists.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
also true.
Very anti-Damian. Yeah.
But yeah, so Harley, she's like, what the fuck? No, I don't want a kid as my nemesis. This isn't going to be a thing.
Which is kind of great.
Yeah, it's pretty great. And then they quickly establish, like you said earlier, that she just kind of easily disposes of him and then goes about her way.
Yeah.
But the next thing we get, though, is that she's like, what if... Oh, she gets this idea because she reads like a news article, clickbait.
Yeah, the headline of a Daily Planet article or something.
Yeah, written by Lois Lane. And it was just something along the lines of Harley Quinn setting back the women's superhero movement by having a little boy be her nemesis. And it was pretty funny, because that's totally a clickbait article.
Yep.
And then it was hidden behind a paywall. How you had to subscribe to the Daily Planet. That was pretty great.
Yeah, most of them kind of do that. The example I pulled was Wall Street Journal.
Oh yeah.
I have the app on my phone, but my subscription ran out.
You're right.
So now they're like, hey, you need to resubscribe and pay. Where's your payment? You can't read this until you pay. And it's like, oh, come on, damn it.
You kind of think about it sometimes. Like if you live long enough to own a newspaper company, like in the 70s, and then you transition slowly into 2019, how the fuck do you keep your company alive?
That's true. I gotta be kind to that, and it is a worthy thing to pay because It's the news right there.
Right.
And then you don't buy the paper. You just put it on your phone. You save so many papers. You
but
save trees.
The thing of it is, though, is that not to go off on like a news tangent, but it's like if you own like a news agency, the social media is a thing. News spreads faster and just as incorrectly amongst normal people as it does with the newspaper.
Yeah.
And like I'm just as likely to trust like a newspaper article as I am to trust someone who posts something online. Like I really take everything.
It depends the paper. If it's a local paper, if it's like the Wall Street Journal, okay, you're getting my attention a little bit harder. Yeah.
Well, the problem is
the
that,
reason I kept the app on the phone. Yeah.
Well, the problem is that everybody speaks from a position of bias and like
Oh no, that's totally true.
Yeah.
Actually, that is super interesting and very unrelated, so I will not keep talking. But holy fuck, have I seen some really fucked up shit, even from our big name newspapers, which I'm going to shut up about because I do not want to be sued. Hey, we watched Harley Quinn.
Yeah. But we say all that just to say that Lois Lane wrote a very nasty article on Harley Quinn.
Yep.
And that,
well, she just wrote an article.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn thought it was nasty.
Yeah. According to the title.
Exactly.
Yes.
According to the title, because she couldn't read the rest.
But that goes into another thing. Like this show was actually more layered than people give it credit for, I think, because that whole thing is what people go off of. People rarely click the article; they read the article, and then half the people they even share it without reading the article.
Yep.
You
can make a meme off that concept alone, where it's like, well, I forgot what the abbreviation is, but basically it's the TLDR. That's right. Too long, didn't read.
Right.
So they read the headline. They read like maybe half of the first sentence, and then they go TLDR. What's the summary?
Yeah,
and that's it. You know, and it's like no, stop. Take the time, please.
Right.
Yeah.
But this does spark an idea in Harley, and she decides, you know what? Superman would make a great nemesis.
Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody should have stopped this from happening.
Yeah, her crew did not hold her back. Like her crew is too easygoing with her because they need to remember that she's actually kind of psycho. And
which is kind of ironic because Dr. Psycho could have been like, "Let me shut this shit down, and let's come up with a better idea."
Yep.
But no, they go along with it, and this is all Harley here. She doesn't technically kidnap Lois, but she takes her hostage.
And Lois does not give a fuck.
Doesn't give two shits.
I love that they have like the most experienced version of Lois and Superman and all these heroes. Because Superman comes in and is like, "Oh hey Lois, how's it going today? Are we still on for the sushi tonight? I'm on a roll." And I was like, "Oh my gosh."
Didn't give two shits. Even when Superman left, she didn't give two shits.
No, she's like, "Oh hey," no, she was the one who asked, "Oh, by the way, before you go, are we still on for our sushi date tonight?" Yeah.
And of course, Damien in this part actually did really enjoy. I chuckled at it quite a bit. When Damien shows up, he bursts through the wall with like an explosive on a flying Segway.
Yeah, or whatever the weird new thing is these kids are using.
Or a hoverboard.
Yeah, that's the one. That's one. A flying fucking hoverboard. What? Wait, if it's a hoverboard that flies,
don't think about it.
Does it also hoverboard? Like what the fuck?
We'll see.
How do you engage fly?
Well, see,
I'm sorry, I thought about it.
Yeah, in 2016 or 15 or whenever these things became popular, it was a fucking lie to name them hoverboards because they still totally have wheels.
Yep.
So shame on whoever made these things and named them hoverboards. They don't technically hover.
Yeah.
They are on the ground. We just wanted to beat Back to the Future to the pun, so we had to come up with something.
And now they're sold at gas stations.
I'm surprised more people haven't been, more lawsuits haven't been filed on those things. How many people bust their ass trying to get on?
Yeah, for real. Like, there's videos all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
People bust open walls in their homes because they fucking... Oh, it's great. Go YouTube it for half a minute.
But yeah, so Robin shows up again, and Harley, she doesn't even bother. She just leaves.
Yep. Just so downhearted, like, I don't want you as my nemesis. Go away. And it's just like, wah, wah.
So, we talked a little bit about this this talk show on this version of the DC universe. Tony.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's supposed to be a play on like Tony the Tiger, who was like a version of one of Shazam's pet sidekicks.
I doubt it.
Yeah,
I
doubt it
thinking
too.
a lot into it. Yeah.
I mean, it is, but this show is also very layered in what they do. The only thing that kind of throws me off is that I'm like, I wonder why they chose that specific name.
That is a good point. I don't know. We'd have to do a research. I do know that this episode did pull some stuff, which for me reminded me of the Arkham video game series, because like, how many times in comic books have you seen like, you know, the perfectly like ramped, which is just wide enough for the Batmobile to like drive through a construction site, but in the video games, you know, like I feel like I see that more there than I do at all in the comics. And a few comics I could think of it, but definitely more common in the games, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, so after that, Harley, she decides that, you know what, I have an idea, guys. Like, I can't have this kid. I can't have people thinking he's my nemesis, so I got to kill him. And then, thankfully, her crew and Poison Ivy, they provide some very good insight as to why that's a terrible idea. Like, for one thing, if you kill a kid, that's going to look worse on you, even as a supervillain. Like, somehow Joker got away with it, but...
Right, that's what I was thinking the whole time. Like, now you're really following his footsteps. You're going to kill Robin.
You're going to kill Robin. And secondly, if you kill him, then he's definitely your nemesis, because you went out your way to kill him. I'm like, those are very astute points.
They are. I mean, Poison Ivy has been like the main stalk of this whole background of villainy. And yes, that was a plant pun. Yeah, she's literally been like, whoa, wait a minute. She's kind of like roping Harley back in. Like, no, think about that. Yeah. Always giving her good advice, like she said.
And I do love how Poison Ivy is like, you know, I give you this advice, but you literally never take my advice.
Exactly.
They don't shy away from that. They also don't shy away from the fact that Harley has broken so many of her goddamn TVs.
Right, TVs and tables, dude. How many fucking times can you fix the same TV or table, or the same table? Just buy TVs. Or steal them, I guess. They're villains.
I guess. Or just use the money they stole to buy new ones.
All I know is I love her apartment, dude.
It's a nice apartment,
dude. Like, I'd live in that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Big old loft like that.
Well, it's for rent now, so.
Yep.
Yeah, no, so after that, we get... Harley, she's talked out of trying to kill Robin, but instead what happens is that we get this elaborate scheme, and this goes into like what I think is the best part of the entire episode.
Same here, dude. I loved like this warehouse scene where the big reveal happens all the way to the end. Gold.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we get this scene where Harley, she somehow once again off screen easily kidnaps Robin, hoists him up above a big pool that King Shark is in, and King Shark does deliver the line, as long as there's no blood involved, leading all of us and Dr. Psycho included to think that he's just squeamish, I guess. And so he's in.
I mean, when I first heard that, I thought of what sharks actually do when they smell blood, and I was like, "Oh fuck," you know.
Just with this version of King Shark they presented to us, my mindset was on the same as Dr. Psycho's.
Right, because that's what you think of when you hear an IT guy say, "Oh no blood, please," you know. Yeah. Or at least you cliche version IT guy.
Right. Yeah. But no, so it's after that she gets a confession out of Robin, basically saying that, you know, it doesn't really matter what you do because I'm the sweet potato pie, blah, 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 blah.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Could I get your Robin one more time?
I'm the sweet potato pie, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And, you know,
I don't think your voice is capable of going light enough to be the Robin on the show.
That was extremely high pitch, that Robin. It was...
Okay, I'm actually going to try it for a second, and then we're going to keep going. It doesn't matter what you say, because I'm just the sweet potato pie. Oh, that sounds like some shit from South Park.
It does.
It did, yeah.
It's almost like a higher pitched Butters, almost.
Montekia. All right.
But it's once that is revealed, then Harley, she reveals that this is all an elaborate setup, and then we see the set. They're all on the set of the Tawny show. And
which, by the way, her show must be like top rated now, especially after this episode.
Oh yeah. I mean, she always has supervillains on her show and
superheroes. Yeah, dude, her shit keeps up with it.
Yeah, and throughout this entire sequence, I love the shots that we get of like Wonder Woman eating her own cereal.
Yes, I love that. Like she's wearing. First off, no, she still has her tiara, and she's wearing her own T-shirt with her like sold emblem and shit, and she's wearing Wonder O's is what they were called. Yeah.
But I guess to be fair, we were our own t-shirts, which by the way, guys, you guys can purchase those t-shirts. You get your own custom superhero me t-shirts. They're fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so plug. But
as if it was, you have to add the word plug.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yep.
But no, so it's when this happens that Robin, he gets another nosebleed because this show once again is very intelligent. Earlier on in this episode, they set it up so that we know that Robin, he gets nosebleeds.
At least in moments of embarrassment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he gets one again here too. I thought maybe also because you're just hanging upside down, but I guess both.
Yeah.
In this case.
Well, the first nosebleed, he wasn't hanging upside down.
Yeah, but this one he was, and I was like, and he bleeds into the water, and that drives King Shark into a frenzy. Mm-hmm. He goes on the attack. Harley saves him, at least for a little while.
Yeah. I mean, King Shark does not give up easy because remember he's shark but also part man.
Yeah.
So in, out of the tub, don't matter.
It don't really matter. Yeah.
He smells blood. He's a coming.
Yeah. And he has some pretty funny stuff here.
Yeah.
Like, I'll kill the fucking both of you.
He dropped IT guy hard, and this is Mr. Hyde. Oh yeah.
It's like he went to prison for a long time. When he came out, he was reformed. He learned IT while he was in prison. Mm-hmm. Is what it seems like. But so after he breaks out, and Robin is still tied up, about to be shark food, and then Batman comes in and makes the save. And this is like the first of many person bust through coming to intervene. But Batman comes through, and I love this shit because he sprays King Shark with the Bat Shark repellent spray.
Yes.
Which of course is the thing that people remember the most from the 1968 Adam West Batman movie, was when Batman or Robin was flying the Batcopter. Batman was on the ladder on the copter, flying over water, and a fucking shark bites his leg. This ridiculous looking rubber shark attached to Adam West's leg, and he's like, "Robin, quick, hand me the bat." Or the
Bat Shark
repellent spray, and he uses it on the fucking shark. I love how they brought that in for this moment with King Shark.
That is great. Yeah. I love the cleverness.
Yeah. But no, he uses that to incapacitate King Shark and kind of quell that bloodlust.
Yeah.
And so then after that, we get a fight between Harley and Batman,
which is pretty dope. And dude, I love how they're not misusing Batman here, because in a comedy aspect, it's too easy to basically do another Lego Batman version of Batman.
And that's just when you paint your own you throw the character out there and you just kind of put in your own makeshift version of whatever the hell you want him to be.
Exactly. And no offense to Will Arnett, who voiced that Batman. I particularly enjoyed the voice work there, but the actual the execution
script,
of such exactly. Yeah, no, that was stop. That's not Batman. That's Lego jokes.
Yeah.
Here, this is still Batman, but
from a comedy aspect,
in a very cool way where he's still himself, but funny.
Oddly enough, the Lego Batman games did a wonderful job also of portraying Batman in a comedy aspect. But you're right, and I just love the way that he's portrayed here as well. And because I did have a few worries after episode 1 with him and Commissioner Gordon. Like, I don't know if I'm really buying.
Commissioner Gordon, I'm not buying. No, Batman, I will buy.
After this episode, I'm on board.
Yeah.
But so he proceeds to beat the shit out of Harley, and I love how it was played out, because it's not like it's a completely one-sided fight, but you clearly know who's winning.
Oh yeah, like Harley's really good at evading and then eventually getting like a couple in, and it's not like a beat down either. Like, oh, it's a man like completely just like face punching a woman constantly. It's
because that's not Batman style either.
No. He's like surprise kicking her like roundhouse. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
Oh man. Let's see, and then that provokes Harley to show up next, actually. And so Harley, she shows up on set.
Wait, Harley? Or
Ivy? I mean, yeah. That provokes Ivy to show up on set because she sees Harley getting her ass kicked on live TV. So she shows up in front of the live studio audience. and then they both proceed to battle Batman, and it's a lot of fun to watch. In the meanwhile, Joker, he's just robbed another bank. He bursts through the door, literally calling out for Batman, and then there's no one there. He's like, "What the fuck, Bat?" And then of course that prompts him to also show up as well.
All the while, Harley's crew is not helping. They sat with the audience and are just having a great time.
Oh, yeah.
Shark gets up from his comatose bat shark repellent spray, starts clapping. No, King Shark, sit down. It's not the moment for that.
I mean, because he wasn't clapping for Harley in them. He was clapping for Batman because Batman had just did something.
Exactly.
He stands up and starts clapping. Oh, everybody's a fan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. But no, after a while, Joker does show up. He's the last person to bust through the fucking wall like the Kool-Aid man.
Pushing through the audience members like, what the fuck is going on?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's like literally what he said.
Yep.
Oh, man. And then we get like this all sorts of melee with Harley and Ivy.
All the while, Tawny's show is still going on.
Oh,
Her
yeah.
cameras is still rolling, like playing this. Hence why everyone knows like where to convene and whatnot. And the subtitles at the bottom are hilarious
Oh, they're
the
fucking
whole
great.
time.
They're great.
Great use of your setting.
Oh,
yeah.
But eventually what happened is that once Joker shows up, all hell just kind of breaks loose. And eventually what happens is that Joker gets a hold of Robin, who's still tied up. I'm like, God, Damian, I don't want to go off into what Damian would have done, but
Yeah, no,
just suffice to say,
right.
in this scenario, this is what happens. But he gets taken by Joker, and Joker runs off with him.
Yeah, man. I don't know, Damien, man.
And after that, Batman, he runs after Joker because Joker's like, you better come after me because I'm your number one villain, blah, blah, blah. I'm your nemesis.
And no one wants another dead Robin. So,
yeah.
And so that's kind of the end of all that.
And then after that, we kind of transition back to Ivy's apartment where she gets to notice that she's being evicted. She has this dickhead landlord.
Yep.
And he's setting up. He called King Shark a pet.
Do you recognize him?
No.
The one robo arm, one robo leg dude? No?
No.
I feel like they did that on purpose. There's got to be a reference there. I'm just not getting it.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't even know the guy's name. I just call him Dickhead Landlord.
Well, yeah. Dickhead landlord. Good enough.
Yeah.
And yeah, so at the end of the episode, we learn that Poison Ivy is being evicted from her apartment.
Yep.
Which honestly is another simple, well-written segue that they could easily take advantage of to make the next episode very different.
Oh, yeah.
From what you were talking about earlier, the whole like relying on that Joker paradigm, the constant psychological comparison.
Yeah. I was surprised to see the credits or the preview for this week's episode, coming episode, because I thought that this week's episode was going to be like maybe Harley being like, this is our opportunity to find a layer of some sort.
That would have been easy. That would have been natural.
Yeah. I guess they could still do it, I guess, but
Yeah.
but at the very end of this episode, we go to the Batcave where we have Batman talking with Robin, and it's very much a sex talk, just disguised in the terms of nemesis. I didn't have my first nemesis until I was in my late 20s. All that kind of talk.
Yep.
And Robin's like, "Oh, the other kids in Teen Titans have nemesis, and I don't have nemesis."
You want your first nemesis to be special.
Yeah.
And it's a very awkward conversation, but done in somewhat a strangely encouraging and heartwarming way until
Right.
Robin's like, when will I be old enough for sex? Oh, I think I hear the bat signal.
That was great.
That was great.
Yeah. It was also great when he brings Robin like a grilled cheese sandwich. He goes, "I made this for you." Yeah. And Robin's like, "You didn't make that? Ever made that?" "Oh, I made him make it."
Exactly. I made him make it.
Oh,
yep.
Man. Yeah. So this whole end sequence was fucking phenomenal.
It really was, dude.
I had a blast with it. But yeah, so like the show is definitely making like strides, man. Like not only is every episode funny, but it's like at least in some small manner, every episode is also like serialized. In other words, it's not like a typical episodic cartoon where you can just watch these in any order. It's like there is some type of continuity happening throughout each episode, even if it's small.
And I enjoy that. I really
Me too.
do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It really adds like a power to the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope they don't ever shy away from that.
Yeah, me either. Like I enjoy, cartoons that are episodic, but at the same time, like what really keeps me coming back is the more,
The more driving story, something to hook me.
Yeah, something that has like I said, something that has a story that's going from A to B to C. Mm-hmm. But no, this is a great episode.
Oh yeah.
I had a lot of fun with this one. Harley, she continues to be like such a hard-headed yet driven individual, and you can't help but to root for this evil psychopath villain.
Oh yeah, dude. I don't know. I'm waiting for more and more to come out, because I've really been enjoying this whole thing right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely, my friend. You got anything else on this one before you wrap up?
Nah, dude, I'm good. Yeah.
Cool. Well, to all the homies out there, happy holidays. That's for all you homies listening to this before Christmas, and also if you listen to this after Christmas, have a happy holidays for 2020.
Exactly.
Way in advance.
Way in advance. What holiday is it? Have a happy that.
Yep.
But for those of you out there, Merry Christmas. Be safe. Do your things. Enjoy your time. Celebrate it however you wish. Fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Remember, we're right there celebrating with you.
Fuck that noise.
Hey, we celebrate. We got a Christmas tree. We put up a Christmas tree. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. But that is all for now, homies. Thank you guys again for listening, and as always, guys, we're going to come back with even more awesome content. Mm-hmm. But if there's ever anything in particular that you guys want to hear us talk about, or if you have any kind of questions, comments, gifts, thirst, food, supplies, then hit us up at superherohomies@gmail.com or any of our social media outlets. We are always active and live.
Plug. And don't forget, we also have the patreon.com/superherohomies page where you can go and listen to some awesome other nerdy shit that we got to talk about, $1 gets you most things, $3 gets you everything.
All right. That will be all for now, but we will talk to you guys once again very soon. One of our upcoming episodes, one of our biggest of the year, is the Homies Award.
Yes, coming up very soon.
Yes. This will be the 3rd annual Homies Award, actually. Can you believe it? And the Homies is essentially, guys, when we take all of the main categories are the superhero movies, and then there's different categories. Best fight choreography, best CGI, best music, you name it, there's a category for it. And then, of course, there's the movie of the year also that we do. And then on top of that, we have more categories lined up for this year.
Hell yeah. It's going to be pretty awesome.
A lot of fun. But yeah, guys, that's going to be all for now. But thank you guys again for listening. So until next time, my name is Superhero Homie Q.
And as always, I am Superhero Homie Kevin.